Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the IMSA Challenge Championship 2022 edition, presented by Pro Sim Racing and co-hosted by GTP and Plebian Racing. That's the Gran Turismo Panama boys for you, who have put in a ton of work for our beautiful liveries, our beautiful decals, our beautiful IMSA badging. Everything about this championship is absolutely phenomenal and gorgeous. Everything you know and love about the IMSA series from 2022 is here. The only thing we really don't have are the LMPs. We've got the GTLMs, we've got the GTDs, and we've got TCR. So this thing is gonna be going far and fast. We're at Mosport Raceway, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. It's going to be Jamin Mon. Fast and flowing at this Raceway Park. You know how we get down. Turn one, everything about this track is flat out. Let's just start there. Turn one, flat out basically. Little lift, big ol' right-hander, down deep and diving into Clayton. Huge runoff off to the right-hand side. We're going to see a lot of things going on and a lot of cars going wide there at turn two. So keep your eyes peeled towards the grass as they enter turn three. That's Quebec. Follow the bitumen through Quebec. It's going to be early on the throttle, and you just want to punch through because turns 4 lead you right into 5, which is Moss Quarter. This is going to be the Canadian oak tree, is the way I like to call it. A big cresting hill, blind double apex corner around the top of this hill, and then plummets you back down towards the Mario Andretti straightaway. And off to the S's you go. Another quick lift, back on the throttle, right, left, right towards white, which is the final corner. And to the line you go, punching it. And that's a lap around Moss. It is going to be absolutely maddening. What I want to take a look at real quick are the spotter guides. Let's take a look at that. We've got all these boys up in GTLM. Up at the front, there's going to be Jay Bray in the number 3, followed by Armando Henley, Francisco Gonzalez, Sheen Reyes, James Blint, James Leader, Adam Pridgeon, both of those representing the Blue Gang, Greg Scheimer representing the Zero Bandwidth team, flying the standard gray, orange, and blue livery colors, Andres Lopez in the GTP car, James Pendry, Michael Leonard, and Jamie Morrison rounding it out for GTLM. And as I said about these beautiful liveries and these great cars, just take a look at all the attention to detail that went into these cars. From the C8Rs to the GTLMs, we're off to GTD now for Vicente de Silva, Robert Wallia, John Crane in the Aston Martin GTD. We've got Arthur Pinnell, Matteo Venuti, Rafael Bressler, Luis Santamaria, Ramiro Dominguez, Mike Fazal, DJ Harris, Don DeBean, Estefano Barrera, rounding it out for the GTD category. Vicente de Silva looking awfully clean in the low-tech badge GT Panama car. For Fun Sim Racing also representing a couple of cars in this class. Keep your eyes peeled for Rafael Bressler and Matteo Venuti in them. Robert Wallia in the Seal Tim Racing. Sorry, we're off to TCR now. We've got Dave Martin representing the Plebian crew with Emiliana Videla in the GTP. Simon Kemp also from the Plebs with Brett Vaughn coming in there. Luke Baumeister finishing it out for the gang of blue people with the Blue Gang livery. Alep Genten, Frederick Soderstedt, and Muzum Zari, and Alfonso Mason and Pasha Patterson representing the Zero Bandwidth Autosports Group in the Alfa Romeo TCR. Comments coming out from the peanut gallery. It looks like Captain Insano is talking smack about his own liveries. Everything looking good and clean as far as I can see as the Blue Gangs are concerned. I'm happy with the way that's turned out. Has the server gone live yet? Not quite yet. So let's take a look at the championship standings, folks. We've got a lot to look at and a lot to talk about for the standings. People not quite getting the finishing results that they want or expected. Stand by. Oh, qualifying session is up. Excuse me. Joining the qualifying session, as we do that, let's take a look at the GTLM category. James Leader leading the Blue Gang in first place with points 25 ahead of James Blint with 18 for the CL Racing crew. Andreas Lopez for GT Panama in third place, only a few points behind, 10 points behind Leader, 3 points behind Blint in the CL Adam Pridgeon representing the Blue Gang with 12, having a huge disconnect, making his way back up through the field to make that happen. Since qualifying is underway, I do want to take a look at see how far people are going through qualifying. Scheimer. Stand by as I get some things figured out. I apologize. Oh my goodness. Ah, there it is. There we go. Now we're spectating the GTLM class. You can figure out the command. I apologize about that. But looking at GTLM, now that we're here, and I'm not seeing the name that I expected to see in GTLM, here it is, James Leader now in first place for the Blue Gang. Then we've got Greg Scheimer down in fifth. We've already talked about Adam Pridgeon. Greg Scheimer, Francisco Jr. Gonzalez in sixth, Armando Hansley in seventh for the Gapplebees, and with 6 points, right behind his teammate Junior Gonzalez with 8. James Pendry with a high Racing for 8 points there, and Michael Leonard 9th, and Jamie Morrison with a penalty point taking 10th place has no points to his name. Doesn't look like he finished the first race. Sorry about the hiccup, sorry for the delay, but here we go. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. I see Steve trying to help me out earlier with the Discord issues. Thank you so much for trying, but welcome to the stream, brother. And Don is here, and we've got the Zero Bandwidth team here, and we've got the Blue Gang team here. Everybody here to represent. I think I saw Jay Bray trolling around, lurking for a little bit. Time's coming out now. Looks like James Blint with a 1:13.4. Scheimer with a 15:1 for now. We're watching Jay Bray go around in this Corvette. Let's see how the Corvette manages to run through the track. Jay Bray coming up to Moss right now. This is the uphill cresting turn. Hits the double apex, almost misses the second one, unless that's the preferred line. He's up on his PB, so he knows better than I do what to do and what to expect. Oh my goodness, we're not even on the right page. I apologize. We're still looking at points. Oh, man, I'm full of kerfunkles today, folks. Someone yelled at me that the sound's not there either. I'm going to go ahead and blame the Stream Deck issues that I've been having for that one.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser! Good. Good. More for me and you.
So that goes out for me, not for Jay Bray, as Jay Bray throws out the 1:15.5. Parks it, goes back to the pits. Let's see what the other classes are up to. Moving on to GTD, folks, we've seen Ramiro Dominguez put up times close to the GTLM category, about a 2-second a lap difference between the categories. And as we talked about, we've seen a lot of the GTD drivers drive up close to the GTLM drivers, where the skill gap is more than the mechanical difference between these vehicles and their pace. So we will expect to see some GTDs and GTLMs fighting it out for position overall. But really what we're talking about is how well do you get through traffic? And do you want to keep fighting a car and slowing yourself down when you're going to have other cars doing better or making their way through traffic better? Battle for attrition here for the boys and girls at the race in Mosport Parkway. Dominguez 15.9, Walia 16.3, still trying to put out good times. Fazal with a 16.697. I think these guys have more pace beneath them, at least getting closer to Dominguez up front. Gotta love the sights and sounds as Walia sends it over the hill of turn 2. Man, you saw that rear end step out just a little bit, giving that code brown. He does it again at 3. Holy Toledo. Follows the bitumen through. Coming around 4 now, punches it down the hill, up through Moss, out to the curbing, hits the second apex beautifully, but doesn't have a lot of pace on him for sector 1. I think he had a good sector 2 though. That looked good through 3 and through Moss. On board with Michael Fazal, getting to the line. He's going green and green. This might put him up into second place of GTD, and it does. Michael Fazal with a 15.949. Couple thousand shy of Ramiro Dominguez. Parks it, goes to the pits, grabs a new set of tires. He's going to want to go for that again. That's just a hairline difference between the two of them. Or maybe he wants to save face for the next time he goes out. Dominguez is still out there putting down, trying to go for a lap. He's on an out lap right now, it looks like. Before we run out of time, let's go check out the TCRs. Checking out the TCR, boys and girls. We got Luke Bonemeister with a 24-2 right in front of me. Looking at Pasha Patterson in the zero bandwidth auto sport car, getting through the S's. Oh my goodness, I love the way these cars sound. Absolutely gorgeous here. Looking at Zari now, 24-7 out of him. So what are the times? 24-2, 24-7, 25-1, 25-2, and into the 26. I'm a little curious about Emiliano's pace right now. Emiliano Videla in the number 5 Honda. I'm going to be positive that Emiliano Videla has quite more pace beneath him than that. He's usually a front runner in the category. I would not be surprised to see him jump Fred Soderstrom. And Fred, you got to help me out with the pronunciation of the name, please, eventually. Can't just keep hanging me out there to dry. And we've got someone disconnecting the beaver from the GTLM category. Excuse me, that should be GTD. What is that? Let's see what car that is. That is the GTD category, okay. Alip Jantan, 26-2 right now in the other Alfa Romeo for the TCR category. Oh, Fred with a big lockup at the S's. Holy Toledo, going super deep and hot there. PSR around. Holy Toledos are out. 3 minutes left for qualifying. We'll head back over to the GTLM category. See if anybody's still out on track, trundling around. James Blint with 13.0. Holy Toledo. 2.5 faster than James Leader right now. He's got a big old gap on the field behind. Scheimer's got nothing to say. He's parked in the pits. Can't do anything regarding that. Jay Brace still out there onto the grass at turn 3. That's going to halt any effort that he was going to make on that lap. And that's just what it is for turn 3. You want to get on the throttle so early and follow that black strip of asphalt around the track, and he goes over the curb at Moss. Jay Bray not having a good time right now. If he doesn't get it together, he's only going to have one more shot at another qualifying lap. This is an endurance race, so qualifying isn't going to make or break your race, but it sure will help you get through the lap 1 kerfunkles. Adam Pridgeon still going through. He started last and a lap down last race, so he really doesn't care where he qualifies because he knows he can get his way up to the front. Look at those brakes light up there. On the entrance of 3, pushing hard on the outside. Big old dive downhill, turn 4. Back to Jay Bray right now. He's going through turn 3 himself, on his way towards turn 4. Jay Bray's gone green. He's got 7/10 up on his PB. Might be able to jump up into the second row ahead of Scheimer. Jay Bray looked to have held it down at Moss. He will get one more lap out of this. Green in sector 2. He's definitely gonna do it to Scheimer if he keeps it together through the S's. Watch his wheel. Full lock left, full lock right now. Over the curb. Oh! Slides it around. Did he keep it under him? Not enough! Not enough time on the board. A 15.0 for Jay Bray. That'll do it for his qualifying efforts. He couldn't go faster than Scheimer in front. And that's it for Bray. He parked it. He's done. Take a look at GTD if anybody's still out there. No, it looks like checkered flags out for everybody now. And we're gonna head over to the commentary booth real quick and see if we can go ahead and grab an interview. Stand by, folks, as we get the interviews underway. All right, here we go. We're live in the commentary booth with James Leader, your GTLM leader right now. James Leader, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I would like to point out James Blint is a 2.5 ahead, but he left the second.
Aha!
Not actually first.
James Blint is a 2.5 faster. Holy Toledo. Holy Toledo. He went even faster than his last lap that I saw on the board. He was in the 13s before, now he's into the 12s. James Leader, how are you going to combat that?
I mean, I'm going to do my best, but I have a feeling he's going to drive off into the sunset.
Now, you've driven with Blint before, right?
I've been on the same track as him. Not much racing has happened.
Do you think that maybe your consistency can help you out here against Blint?
It's possible, but I think at Watkins Glen he was a little bit rusty and made some mistakes. Seems like he's come back strong today.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for joining me, James Leader. We're going to go ahead and try to grab someone else. Stand by, folks. Hello, and we've got Jay Bray live in the studio. Jay Bray, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Jay Bray, how are you doing? And welcome to the series, a latecomer. Do you think you still have a chance at the championship contention?
Probably not, considering I'm 2 seconds off of Glen, but if I keep the races clean and I consistently can be on the podium, hopefully, then we'll see.
Well, during qualifying, I saw you pushing quite hard through turn 3 and off to the grass and then off at Moss, open over the curbs. You just plan on keeping it calm, cool, and collected, or are you pushing it to the limit?
Yeah, I didn't do much practice, to be honest, so I was kind of relearning how to drive the track for a sec there.
Copy that. So talk us through a little bit of what you have been driving, or what are some of your difficulties you see?
Yeah, honestly, just understeer is my culprit on being slow right now, to be honest.
Well, copy that. Thank you so much, Jay Bray. I think that's going to wrap up our interviews for just a second, and we'll let you guys get settled. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Well, that was awfully nice of the boys and girls to entertain my interview request. Stand by as we take a look at the championship points now. I think this is an appropriate time to talk about that as we get the race server underway. Here we go now. I know we went through this before, but let's do it again. James Leader in P1, James Blint in P2. We talked about the championship points, or excuse me, we talked about the race we're about to see tonight between James Blint and James Leader, or the lack of racing between James Blint and James Leader. So that will be interesting to see. Andreas Lopez in P3, Adam Pridgeon in 4th, Greg Scheimer in 5th, and we said Francisco Jr. Gonzalez was in 6th, Armando Hansley, James Pendry, Michael Leonard, and then Jamie Morrison in 10th. Rounding it out for the GTLM category, it'd be awfully interesting to see how Jay Bray slots into this and where he ends up going as the championship progresses. After that, we're on to the GTD category with Ramiro Dominguez in GT Panama colors. And we've got John Crane, silent, calm, cool, and collected race. We're definitely going to want to talk to him when we get back into the booth. He's defending the Pro Sim Racing title with Mike Fazal as well in 3rd place, 18-15 points, very close between the two of them. DJ Harris for the Ascension Racing Motorsport. I thought he was affiliated with Back of the Labs or Plebian Racing, but Ascension Racing Motorsport is what it is. 12 points to his name in 4th place. Vicente de Silva in 5th with the GT Panama team. 10 points there. Luis Santamaria, LLXS with 8 points. And Robert Walia with 6 penalty points for the Seal Thim Racing. And off to the TCR category where Frederick Soderstad is representing Seal Thim Racing with 25 points. Pasha Patterson not too far behind with 18 points. Alfonso Mason in 3rd with Plebian Racing attached to his team name. Excuse me. 15 points there. Emiliano Videla, Simon Kemp, Brett Vaughn, and Luke Bomeister for the Blue Gang with 6 penalty points. And Brett Vaughn with 8. Neither of those guys finishing out the Race 1 series. Things are still just getting going. So let's take a look back at the spotter's guide, and we're going to go ahead and take a look. 6 penalty points for a disconnect. Absolutely. FFF. But I do want to get back in here, and we're going to talk to John Crane. John Crane. Oh, John Crane.
How you doing there?
Living the dream, John. You're live and on the air as we're waiting for the server to go live. John, you had an amazing race 1 and quiet race 1. I don't want to give you the commentary curse, but how are you feeling going into race 2?
Well, I qualified better than I thought I might, but I don't know that that's that important, quite honestly. The trick is just smooth and take your time and let things fall where they fall.
Absolutely. I mean, this is an endurance race. It's not all about qualifying. It's how you make your way through traffic, right, John?
I would agree with that. Yeah, and maintaining as consistent pace as you can.
And John, what is the key to your success? Is it the patience? Is it the confidence? Is it the comfortability with the car? What would it be for number 1?
Well, I don't know if you can call one good finish a success, but I'll take that. I don't know. I do like the car. I've driven it before. I like the track selections. Confidence, not really, because the competition is extremely high. And so I'm confident in my driving, but not in the position that I'll finish because you just don't know. You know, a lot goes on, a lot of decisions to be made.
Absolutely, and it's not just your decision; it's everybody's decisions around you, right? It takes 2 to tango in these events.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You really have to trust the other drivers, and I know probably half the drivers and half I'm not real familiar with. So there's a learning curve involved there as well.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, John. The server is up. I don't want to get you delayed from joining that, and we're going to try to go ahead and talk to a few more people if we have some time. Thank you so much, John, for your time and giving us a little bit of insight of what's going on in your category.
Cheers.
Cheers and good luck. Speaking of categories and people leading their categories, let's talk to the Zero Bandwidth Autosports leader. Pasha Patterson, are you there?
I am.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Pit and Paddock Report. We're staring at your car sitting on the grid, P1 in the category, P4 as it sits on the grid right now. How do you feel?
Well, you know, Mosport's one of my places where I do halfway decent instead of just sort of terrible. So hopes are high, but we do have more people in front of me than behind. Fred and Luke are always fast and pretty dependably faster than me. Moazam is new to the series and made his presence known by also beating my pants off in the quali. So I'm just gonna sort of hang back here, try to stay out of trouble, and see what kind of luck I can pick up along the way.
Luck favored you in race 1. I hope luck favors you in race 2. Do you have any strategy to make it clean? You're solidly mid-pack. It's got to be the only thing on your mind is making it through clean. How do you plan on doing that?
Yeah, just consistency. Trying to just not screw up at any point during the race. Just try to stay out of the way, I guess, and I'll just hold my line and hope folks can sort of get around. It's a little tough. It's a little tight out there. The GTs are going to have some trouble getting around the TCRs anywhere except the straight where they have the speed advantage. So yeah, just sort of keep my eyes peeled and hope everybody else is doing the same.
Eyes peeled, head on a swivel. Good luck to you there, Pasha.
Thank you.
And I think we might have a little bit more time. I wonder if Adam Pridgeon is available to speak with us, as Scheimer has disconnected from the server and is unavailable.
Hey.
Adam Pridgeon, what happened to you race 1?
Disconnected at the end of the formation lap and then reconnected. Entered the pits and I was a lap down. So rejoined right when there was a pile up next to me. And then kept my head down and somehow came back and made it into 4th. But looks like we're about to go.
Good luck, everybody. Safety cars out. Looks like that's it for the interviews, everybody. The race is on. Safety car is out, leading these boys and girls through the field in formation right now. We're going to do a rolling start, split class start, so the GTLMs will lead the field, followed by the GTDs shortly after, and then the TCRs right after that. All being released at the same time, but at different intervals, so we have the leaders separating the categories nice and neat. Robert Walia back there in the red and black Beamer, shortly behind, I believe that's Leonard in the Porsche at the end of GTLM. You can also tell by the red and green wingtips and mirrors on the liveries. Greg Scheimer making his way through the field again. Looks to be that he did not get started on the grid and is trying to make his way back up to the front very quickly. There he is, darting and diving through a couple of the other cars. And we saw Pridgeon dive out of the way. Or excuse me, that was Jay Bray diving out of the way to allow Scheimer through. Scheimer's in his 2nd place, excuse me, behind James Glen. Oh my goodness, folks. I can't tell you how excited I am for the start of this race. This is going to be the spiciest tamale I've had in a while. Hopefully everything's working right. Hopefully everything's looking right, folks, because I just can't get enough of this TCR, GTL, MGTD action. The speed pit limiter, excuse me, the limiter's out 80 kilometers an hour for everybody. Everybody's lined up. Scheimer's next to Blind. Red light, green, green, green. The breakaway is upon us. Scheimer's on the inside of turn 1, trying to challenge Blinton for P1. Can't hold him there. Looks like he didn't get the greatest start. Boxes in. James Leader in the port behind. And it looks like Pridgeon stuck on the outside. Ramiro Dominguez getting a 10-second penalty for jumping at the start. Looks like Leader's through on Pridgeon. That side-by-side is now over single file for the boys and girls in GTLM. Looking back at GTD, though, Robert Valia, leading Mike Fazal and Junior Gonzalez, and Ramiro Dominguez, Vicente de Silva, and Luis Santa Maria. And we got Pinell and John Crane in the back, and there's a big old walk-up from Junior Gonzalez right behind John Crane, and he spins out, and that's gonna bunch up the field. Oh no, almost hitting a TCR with the rejoin, but it looks like the TCRs are mostly through cleanly. Only one GTLM, Junior Gonzalez, getting collected and stuck back with the TCR category somehow, but looks like there's a big old gap between Luke Bowister, Bazari, Jan, and Fidela and Patterson. Told you Fidela was going to get past Patterson. Didn't think it was going to happen this early for that reason. I'm sorry to give out everybody the commentator curse, but it is here. Bressler and GTD is trying to make his way through traffic early after the big old accident. Oh, that was Rafael Bressler who had that. That wasn't Ramiro Dominguez that I called out. I apologize. On the inside of Pasha on turn 1, Pasha Patterson, excuse me, of the zero bandwidth car makes his way through. Then the 55 also gets past Emiliano Fidela. Not quite yet at turn 2, gets blocked off. Has to make the move happen cleanly. Pasha's got significant damage on the nose. Talita shaking and baking around Ramiro Dominguez. Looks like Jay Bray made a move around Greg Scheimer. Up at the front. Oh, Scheimer has a wiggle there at the end of turn 2. Oh, excuse me, that was the end of the S's. And that lets Pridgeon through. Trying to snap back, maybe, nose to tail. These C8Rs going wide there at turn 2, excuse me. Vicente De Silva getting past Leonard there. Awfully close at Moss. Tricky corner to navigate. Goes to tail. Limited visibility already. Gets even worse there. Pasha's right behind Jantan. Looks to have had some sort of contact in his derriere. There's a lot of scuff marks on his booty. A little bit of lockup there. Turn 3 is going to allow Pasha to close down that gap. But still on board with Greg Scheimer now. On board with Arthur Pinnell, racing for the Flamingo boys and girls. Right behind Santa Maria and De Silva. Oh, excuse me, that's Leonard up ahead in the GTD category. Oh, looks like Santa Maria is not following the bitumen line, but Pinnell got shooken up a little bit and went under the inside curve, and that'll slow him down. Pasha Patterson been trying to make this move happen for a long time. Almost had a quarter panel on the inside of Jantan, but didn't quite get it presented wheel to wheel. Being awfully careful with this overtake, Patterson is. Pasha's waiting. He's making a look at the inside of turn 4, trying to get Jantan to flinch. He's got a lot of speed. Can't quite get there. He's careful at Moss. It's not a place you can make an overtake happen. Pressure Jantan into locking up the brakes. Pridgeon's now behind Scheimer. Sure when that got upended. Robert Walliams now closed down the gap on both of those guys. Talking about the GTD category. Catching up to GTLM, Pasha Patterson. Holy Toledo drifting out wide at the S's. Holy Toledo, that derriere just drifting out there. Trying to do something. Vicente De Silva on Dominguez. Being patient right now. But for how long in the GTD category? Fastest lap for Blint, 13.5. Still 0.7 faster than leader right now. $16.0 for De Silva, 16.3 for Dominguez. That gap will come down. Slowly but surely, there it is, Patterson on Jantan. Oh no, Jantan almost ran back into Patterson. After that overtake, Holy Toledo avoided it by running off at Moss. Thank goodness, as traffic was getting through them, that looked like Walia. Nope. Who is that in the pork? That's James Leader and James Glen. The leader is getting through the traffic now. spotter's guide to make sure I know who I'm looking at. Holy Toledo, we're only a couple minutes into this race, folks, and it's already maddening. Less than 10 minutes into this race, excuse me, 20 minutes into this race, and we've already got the leaders lapping the TCR cars, having a showdown. Oh my goodness, here it is. We can see Scheimer having to navigate up ahead. Holy Toledo, on the inside of the TCR cars goes Scheimer, and he's through. He's gone right back up to Jay Bray. It's not about where you qualified, folks. It's all about how you make your way through traffic, and Greg Scheimer is making his way through. Robert Walia catching up to Pridgeon right now in the other category car. We're gonna have to see if he's gonna be patient and let Walia through, or if he's gonna wanna fight it out and maintain his dominance. Romero Dominguez and De Silva also trying to get around Zahari right now. Zahari not staying on the optimal line, kind of causing some confusion here because he let Romero Dominguez through, but is kind of fighting De Silva right now. Lets him through around the outside. De Silva's through cleanly, but now we've got more cars. That's Santa Maria on the outside of the TCR category. Oh my goodness, it is maddening now. These TCRs still getting in the way of the GTDs, trying to battle it out for position. This is for 8th and 9th right now in the category. And Santa Maria's licking his lips right now, going, yeah, you boys keep fighting your way through traffic. I'm gonna catch right back up, slowly but surely. Awesome racing and action indeed, Don. Thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate the support right now. And call it as you see it. Let me know where I need to move the camera. There is so much action now that the traffic is getting moving. I gotta make sure we catch it all. Oh, big old lockup on the outside. Oh, the Beamer switched back on the inside. That's a whole lot of low-tech cars. That's Emiliano Videla. Those were the low-tech cars. Man, oh man. Now we've got Pasha Patterson caught up to Videla after all that traffic action. Pasha's getting passed by an Aston Martin right there. I think that's gonna be, who is in the other Aston? That's Arthur Pinnell in the other Aston making his way through. So Pinnell's now passed. And that looks like John Crane chasing down Pinnell as well. Being careful through Moss to not interfere with the TCR cars. Using Pasha's advice to his advantage and getting by everybody on the straight. And it looks like that might be Jamie Morrison making their way through the field now. Where is Morrison? Oh, that's Michael Leonard, excuse me. In the blue Porsche, 13th place overall in GTLM after their lap 1 incident. So Pridgeon did let Walia pass. He seemed to have some more pace than Pridgeon. So now these boys running nose to tail inverse of the typical category you'd expect to see them in, but all's fair in love and war. It's how you make your way through traffic, and obviously this won't affect the championship points because they're given out per category. More so just for bragging rights, I would imagine, as Leonard's going through. It looks like John John Crane has caught up to Pinnell. Looks like some clear air in between them, so they can run nose to tail right now. It'll be interesting to see how Leonard thinks to make their way through the GTD traffic. Oh, and we've got Pinnell trying to break the slipstream, going a little bit wide there, hitting the right apex of the S's. Might be sweating some bullets. I think John Crane's got a loaded gun behind him or something the way he's driving. He's running for his life right now. Oh my goodness, Pinnell is getting hunted down. John Crane's a second of a lap faster. Let's keep our eyes on that battle when we can. But we're looking at John Crane's cockpit right now, staring back at him as he makes his way through turn 2. Here we go, back to Crane now, hunting down Pinnell. Walia in prison inverse positions again, but of course that's not for any points, so we're going to stay on this one as long as we can. Hold on! We've got more traffic interfering with the De Silva-Dominguez battle. I think that was Luke Baumeister. It was in the Blue Gang, holding them up at the S's. How dare that slower category car expect to get some track space? That's the way I like to think about it. Just folks. Oh, we got Junior Gone having a moment. He's off. Bresser's through. Leonard has gotten through Pinnell and Crane right now. A little lockup. This is gonna hurt a lot. I'm not really sure how much faster Pinnell was than Crane. Let me see how fast Leonard was on Crane and Pinnell. I guess a little bit faster, enough to get by him and hold it, but I have a feeling like Pinnell's going to get back up into John Crane. But we'll keep an eye on this and see how this interferes as Leonard's through on the TCR of Luke Baumeister. Quiet for the category. It looks like, now just as I say that, it's side by side down the front stretch. Patterson and Videla. Holy Toledos are out, folks. Nose to tail right now. Through turn 3, a big old lockup from Videla. Goes over the curb, 3 wheels it past the bitumen. Pasha wants to break away at turn 4. He does towards the outside. Trying to hold Emiliano to the inside as much as he can. He's off the optimal racing line. Single file through Moss. Only one way to do it. Videla keeps on locking up the brakes. Pasha's calm, cool, and collected right now. We got Fred Scherstedt right behind, licking his lips. Great racing for the category as we've got James Leader making his way through. Down the straight, watching the battle go on. Big old lockup from Videla again at the S's. It's nose to tail right now for second, third, fourth place, and no leader spun around at the end of the S's. Pushing hard, too hard, maybe. He spun at the end of the S's and lost a ton of time there, but he was off in no man's land between Blint and Bray. Now only a half second ahead of Bray and 25 seconds behind Blint. This GTD is gonna get in the way, and it sure did. Side-to-side contact with Patterson. Getting right in the way. Lockup from Patterson because Bressler pushed at Moss. Bressler is through, and that allows Fred Soderstad to get past him at Moss. Holy Toledo. Bad luck going out to Patterson and the way traffic has treated him. Early lap 1 incident at Moss, and then you've got this one at Moss again. Did we miss the Bass for De Silva and Dominguez? I don't think so, not yet. Hopefully that's the same order we started in. A little bit weird how this looks for the category, so I'm gonna ignore that for now. Sorry. Oh, Patterson threw on Emiliano Manila somehow. Looks like Fred Soderstad as well. Ooh, Lee Toledo looks like Walia's trying to make a move at Ford into Moss. Holy Toledo. Walia pushed his way through at Moss on Patterson. Pasha's going to have PTSD of CTMP for sure after this. He is never going to want to do multi-class at Moss again. John Crane has put in the work to get behind Pinell. Oh my goodness, let's get on board with John Crane and take a look at what's going on. He's being careful and tentative right now. Kind of like this view of the tire. Drive is a little cheesy, but it does look cool. Nearly identical laps out of the two of these guys. Oh, Pinella's off and wide at 2. John Crane is gonna be consistent here at turn 3. Oh, John Crane snaps away to the inside of turn 4. Can he hold on? Just took a peek, didn't act on it. Going up and into Moss. Oh my goodness, through TCR traffic. Oh, John Crane has to back out of it. And that is Jantan at the S's. John Crane just expressed the biggest amount of patience. He knew he was going to get there right at the turning point of Jantan, who was kind of leaving the door open and kind of not at the same time, leading to that confusion. John Crane just said, hey, I'm going to avoid the incident and let's wait it out. And sure he did. He lost a little bit of time and now the gap's back up to a second. You have to do it all over again. but Costa staying alive, but GTLM is getting crazy. Up at the front, a little bit of contact there. Side by side with Shimer, there are 3 abreast. I'm not sure who that was in the Beamer behind. Oh no, one car's off. Looks like Jay Bray got collected there at the entrance of the S's. It sure was. And who was that Beamer involved in all of this? It wasn't Dominguez. That might have been Bressler again. Yeah, it was Bressler again. Getting involved in that battle for the 3rd place podium spot of GTLM. I'm glad we caught a glimpse of that very briefly, because that was absolutely insane. Chasing down Patterson right now, incurring quite a bit of damage after all the things that have happened so far. Now on board with the Lambo, chasing down the German Beamer. These guys have stayed nose and tail the entire race so far. I wouldn't be surprised if that just continues. Luke Baumeister looks to have had an accident. I saw broken glass, and he's off and into the pits, so that's 1 for Baumeister. Not sure what happened to him, but obviously into last place now. Excuse me, in front of Jan Tan, but not quite sure what was going on. I'm sorry. We'll have to interview James Leader and Pasha Patterson after this, get their insight to the race happenings. Stand by, folks, as we take a quick break. I saw Jay Bray pit out of the corner of my eye down in the 12th place overall. Quite in the track position he was expecting before making that pit stop, but he's going to have to battle his way past John Crane and the other GT2 drivers to get back up into the GTLM category. Nose to tail right now in TCR. Emiliano Videla still chasing down Pasha Patterson as we're looking at Greg Shimer switch away to the chase over Adam Pridgeon for 3rd place in the category. Unfortunately not having a disconnect this time around. Thank goodness for that, as John Cranes made the work happen, not once, but for the 2nd time now. Caught back up to Pinell. for Jay Bray and Luke Baumeister making those undercuts work. Oh my goodness, John Crane's getting hustled by Trey Bray right now. John Crane's gonna stay on his racing line, make Jay Bray do the work. He's not losing out any time right now. As long as Jay Bray doesn't insert himself into this battle, it'll be all right. Jay Bray's trying to make his way on the outside of the S's around Pinell. There's a little bit of contact there. Pinell has to get a little bit saucy there to keep it collected. Loses out a little bit of time, but stays on track, just ahead of John Crane. Holy smokes! We've got another GTLM who's inserted himself between those GTDs. James Leader into the pits. Coming out now, right into this traffic of John Crane and Pinell. Oh no! Not lucky for Crane. He's got more GTLMs ruining his chance. Volume's trying to get around the GTLMs ahead. It's all in the pits. Pinell entering the S's now. Oh no! Was that James Leader? No, that looks like Leonard. Off at the S's into a wall. That looked race ending. We'll see what Leonard decides to do. Crowds out there cheering on the cars. Have people waving their hands in the air. Look at Mike Fazal for the first time in a long time in the Benju's PSR liveried car. Gaps open up quite a bit between Vicente de Silva and Ramiro Dominguez as Bressler's out there in between two of them right now. Wally is out here putting on a clinic in the GTD category. 20-second gap ahead of Ramiro Dominguez. He's dominated and has even battled a couple GTLMs tonight. We've got Purgeon into the pits right now, and that gives Scheimer P2 inherently. Lots of action back there. Why did we break away from that? Side by side in the category. Oh, but that looks to be Rafael Bressler, actually. Oh, it looks like Leonard's still not having a great time. Santa Maria gets through now. Santa Maria battling Bressler. That is a battle for position right in front of us. The yellow battling the Loltec badge car, getting through on the inside of TCR. Looks like Santa Maria got that position. Oh my goodness, what is Pasha doing? Holy Toledo, Pasha was bouncing across the track. What happened there? Battles for position in the category. It's Emiliano Videla ahead of Pasha Patterson, ahead of Luke Bowmeister right now. Pinell gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. John Crane is still out on track. He might be able to get this overcut to work for him with Pinell's 5-second penalty. We'll find out when John Crane takes his pit. Side by side with Patterson down the back straight here at Mosport. Looks like the Blue Gang is through on the banana that is the Bandwidth Mobile. And Bressler's into the pits now. Oh no. Luke Bowmeister having a disconnect. Oh no. He is going to. Oh my Heartbreaker for Luke Bowmeister right there. He was the only one that had hit, just made his move around Pasha Patterson, and then it was all taken away from him. 35 minutes left to go. Not quite sure we had hit the 70% mark yet. Have to do the big boy math to figure that one out. Yep, Luke Bowmeister's out, and he's not only out, he's out of Discord, so that will more racing for him. Sorry, folks. James Leader making his way through the field after his pit stop now. Has to make these passes for position overall. We saw him pit out and come out, right in front of John Crane, and that really didn't help him. Walia now taking his pit. See where he heads up in traffic.
I'm not sure Scheimer and Blint have taken their pit or not. That means Leader must have had a big ol' accident to be at the back there. Must have seen Leader have his accident. All the way down to the place now. Leaders through on Vazal for the position overall. Now that matters for the championship standings. James Blint, 13 flat in race trim, folks. He is an animal. Unbelievable. Traffic getting in the way there. We have Jan Tan now right behind Patterson. Patterson must have taken a pit stop to get Jan Tan to catch back up. What's going on there? Jan Tan's story. Go to the pit stops and see if any of this is true. Yeah, it looks like Fred Soderstedt and Patterson both took their pit stops there. And then Jan Tan as well. Yep. Jan Tan now taking his pit stop. That makes a lot more sense now. As I said, we'll have to figure out what happened to Leader as he's taking his pit all the way back into 8th place. Yeah, not sure what's going on. Must have missed a big accident. This is where it helps to have a live pit crew to track the action. Patterson's there at Moss. This might be a battle of people that haven't pit yet, actually. Yep, De Silva has not pit, but is still in front of Walia. De Silva is now pit. Oh, Dominguez has not pit. Aha. John Crane's coming out of the pits now. Let's see where this puts him next to Pinell. Oh, no, John Crane is just getting into the pits now. So we'll have to see where this ends up between him and Pinell. I'm really excited to see that battle continue because it has raged on for the majority of the race. Other than the De Silva and Dominguez battle, of course. Oh no, Pinell is past Crane. Looks like he's quite past Crane, if I'm honest. Dominguez now taken to the pits. We'll see where that puts them next to De Silva. Clear track behind Crane. Has a little bit of work to do to catch back up to Pinell. That's 5-second gap. Actually, that 5-second penalty has not been applied to Pinell yet. So that will have to come through the pipework. Where is De Silva right now? And where is Dominguez out on track? Right ahead still. There he is, and there they are, Dominguez and De Silva. Nose to tail again. Only a second and a half after the major undercut that De Silva tried to take. I think that was at least 2 or 3 laps. And didn't get it to work. Going as hard as he can towards track limits at the end of the lap. It's awfully slippy out on those curbs, and a little bit of that dirt and dust will send you into a death spiral if you're not careful. GTLM's coming through on the TCR category through the S's. That's Jay Bray battling it out with Scheimer now. See him in the rear view mirror. Darting and diving, making a peek at turn 1. Trying to get Scheimer to flinch. He won't do it. Now looking at Jay Bray hunting down Scheimer. .7 separating Dominguez and De Silva now. That'll keep on coming down. I can imagine Scheimer's into the wall at the end of Moss. Pushing hard, trying to defend from Jay Bray. And that'll be it for that battle, unfortunately. out. The final 25 minutes are upon us, folks. Looking at our leader, that is James Blint leading the way. Adam Pridgeon's actually right behind Blint, but a lap down. So I think that would go to tell me that Blint is pit. Pridgeon is not. Oh, just kidding. They both have made their pits. Looks like everybody has made their pits, with Scheimer having 2 now. And so is Leonard. And leader still with the 1 category. I thought he would have had 2 for some reason, but no. Trying to get through some traffic.
Still staying great.
That was Luis Santa Maria. That's basically all in the GTLM category. A shame for Greg. He was doing so good. He was defending hard from Jake Bray. Now he's got another battle on his hands. Trying to catch up to James Leader after that other pit he made. Pretty quiet now for the final 20 minutes of this race, everybody. Don't know what to tell you. Everybody falling into place like puzzle pieces now. A little bit of kerfuffle for the order, like we talked about earlier. Walia making his way through the GTLM field into 3rd place overall. TCRs have also been quiet, with Zari leading the way into P1. 30-second gap ahead of Fred Soderstad, and Pasha Patterson in 3rd. Luke Bowmeister having that disconnect, so everybody getting bumped up the order there, and then Vanilla and Jan Tan running up for that category. GTD's a little bit different. It's Walia, then it's Fazal, Dominguez, De Silva, Pinell, Crane, Santa Maria, and then Bressler. GTLM, it's Blint, Pridgeon, Walia, Bray, Leader, Scheimer, and then we got Leonard and Junior Gonzalez. Side of Moss isn't really a great place to make something like that happen. But it was done. Hopefully everybody escaped with their life from that one. Look at this gaggle of cars. GTLM trying to make through. Oh, GTD! Jay Bray. Got his way through on Francisco Gonzalez, and now trying to get through on Crane. outside of Moss, but that's not a place you can really do that side by side. Back out of it for good measure, and now Crane is on the accelerator and trying to GTFO and away from Bray. Through on the TCR of Pasha Patterson there in the background. Bray's through on Crane now before the S's, thankfully. Looks like Bray's going to have a hard time, because that's Robert Walia up there. He's been the fast boy in the GTD car, racing with the GTLMs. Adam Pridgeon in second place for the category, represents the Blue Gang high and well. Just humming right along. Jay Bray's now within a half second of Walia. Let's see how he decides to navigate this challenge. Outside of the stretch for the entrance of the S's, nose to tail. Wally is close. Manages to stay very tight to Bray, but he is through. The GTLM category is faster by only a second there. Oh, lots of traffic going on, Bray. Big old gaggle of cars surrounding Walia and Bray, making their way through. A little bit of contact there, I think. A little hurry up from Pinell. Side by side. Ooh, trying to go back to the racing line. Pinell. Walia's getting ready for a switchback and kept on getting blocked off. No, and Walia runs into Bresser, who's parked at the end of the S's, and John Crane goes by. But Walia, your GTD leader, was involved in a major accident. And a lot of the GTLMs are now through, and I wonder if this is a lot of damage for Walia, and anybody else in the category, like Mike Fazal, might have an opportunity. Where's Fazal on track? He's right behind us right now. Fazal just crossed the line, coming around turn 2 right now. We'll see how this plays out. Walia's in the pits. He's warped away to repair the damage. Fazal inherits P1. He gave up that lap to do it. But Walia is back into third, fourth place for the category as Fazal inherits first, Dominguez into second, Visilva into third, and Walia has a lot of work to do with only 14 and a half minutes left to go, but he's got the pace to make it happen. Let's see how this all plays out in the final 14 minutes of this race. Holy Toledo, just when I thought my heart rate was calm, cool, and collected, the race was over, I was ready to take a nap. But Walia goes into the wall, and that's a bad pun, and I know it, folks. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say other than just holy Toledo, holy Toledo, holy Toledo. Francisco Jr. Gonzalez is off into the pits with a Grapple B's car. GTLM pit stop for him awfully late in the race. Fred Soderstad leading the in P2 for TCR. I think I kept saying that. That's wrong. We have Zari in P1. And Junior Gonzalez is out of the pits. And back to resuming their race. Wow, wow, wow. Sorry for the jump scare earlier, folks, but man, oh man. James Blint, our race leader overall in GTLM, leads by a lap over the Pridgeon. Making up a ton of time right now, only a second behind De Silva and Dominguez. Holy Toledo. Thank you, auto camera, for that. We're just watching Pasha Patterson go around by himself. As much as I do love his livery, not the time or place auto camera. Thank you for that. I'm going to go back to Robert Walia as he's 8/10 within De Silva. And that's a better thing to watch. No offense, Pasha. I think Walia was actually getting past Blint there for a second. That's got to be Blint up ahead, right? Yep, that's James Blint now. We have the race leader being hunted down by our former category leader in GTD, Robert Walia. Blint is now through on De Silva, so now Walia's got clear attacking range on De Silva, and in the sight, he's got him. De Silva trying to defend as much as possible, taking to the inside line, right in the middle of the track. Walia is trying to take to the inside of Moss, forcing De Silva wide. He does not. He holds on to the racing line, and down the back straight we go. This is where De Silva might be under attack from that BMW behind. Let's see. That Lambo seems to be quick in a straight line, gapping Walia almost as they enter the S's. against a 16.6. This is going to be hard for De Silva to defend, being a second a lap slower. One thing to catch, it's another thing to pass, as they always say. Nose to tail into turn 3, bump into the rump for De Silva, and Walia forces his way through. Nope, he gives the position back, but De Silva's gotta be having some heavy, thick blood pumping in his veins after that. A little bit of frustration and anger, but that's racing for you. Gotta keep it calm, cool, and collected as De Silva musters on and goes out towards the S's ahead of Walia. I race with my heart on my sleeve, so if that was me, I'd be fuming. De Silva seems to have not been fazed by that contact and has kept on going. 8 minutes left on the clock, folks. This looks to be the race everybody was hoping for. Walia's through on De Silva right there. Been setting that one up for a while. Bound to happen. Amazing racing for the category. This is multi-class racing. We've got GTLMs, GTDs, and TCR categories here today. Ooh, Robert Walia steps over that curb. That rear end followed him over. That must have been a puckering moment for sure. Multi-class indeed, indicated by the wingtips and the mirrors. You got green for GTD, red for the GTLM, and then you've got the TCRs bearing the gold, I believe. Or just the black, I guess? Just black wingtips for them? Normal wingtips for the TCRs, I guess. There he is, Vicente De Silva, unfortunately being overtaken by Robert Walia with just a few minutes left to go in this race. Still has him in his sights, not to say that Robert Walia won't have another incident like before. Not to give him the commentator's curse, but anything can happen. This is an endurance race. And not only is this multi-class, I should say that true, this is also an endurance race. 90 minutes long. These drivers have sweated it out. And now are coming to the final closing minutes, hopefully, for them. I'm exhausted just talking through the race. There's been a ton of action. I'm sure the drivers are just done. It's like Emiliano Padella having to lock up there at the end of the race. Junior Gonzalez getting passed by Pridgeon on the inside of T1. Whew, I feel like I can finally catch my breath. Nope. Just as I thought I could catch my breath, Robert Walia's closed down the gap already on Ramiro Dominguez. That's about to be within a second. As we've got TCR traffic ahead of Ramiro Dominguez. backing him up into Walia. That's a half-second gap now. Walia's going to follow him through at T1 for sure. He sure does. Walia goes wide at T1 behind Ramiro Dominguez, but has gained that advantage by tailgating him through that TCR traffic. Yeah, this might be one of the best community races. It has been very intense racing and a lot of action. And to be fair, it's a lot of action that I've been able to track, which is kind of hard to do in some of these multi-class races, but everything kind of making sense. Wondering what happened to Captain Insano, Luke Baumeister. We saw him go to the pits early on and kind of unexpectedly with broken glass. I'm not sure what happened to him, but we'll obviously be able to hear from the horse's mouth himself. And then the disconnect to boot. So we saw that live. This is where the action is. Walia on Dominguez. Getting in the way, a big old lunge from Walia there. Holy Toledo right at the turning point for the TCR, but heads up driving from Patterson prevented any collision, but Robert Walia has been tailgating his way through onto Silva, not exercising any patience, just right there on the tail of Dominguez. Holy Toledo through Moss, that's as close as you can get. Love to see what Pasha's reaction to that was at live side by side. Unbelievable pace out of Walia. 2 minutes left on the clock. Looks like Blint just crossed the line, so we will get 2 more after this, folks. Hold your horses. We've got a race finishing. Oh my goodness, on the inside goes Walia. Took a nasty pin, but there was a TCR there, preventing him from going there. Walia's darting and diving, trying to go to the outside, to the inside of turn 2. Holy Toledo, nose to tail, holds on for now, approaches turn 3. Walia knows he's got a limited amount of opportunities left. Let's see how this goes. I'll try to keep my cool, but no promises, folks. This is intense. Welcome to 2022 IMSA Challenge hosted by Pro Sim Racing. Dominguez goes wide at Moss. That allows Walia on the inside, a little bit of contact there. And now Walia's through. Dominguez has to challenge back at the S's or else it's all over. Dominguez trying to go deep at the S's to close down the gap. Half a tenth there. Not sure it's enough to challenge. Let's see where Blint is out on the map. So Blint is just getting to turn 3 right now. So it looks like I was right. We'll just get the 1 more lap remaining. This might be it for Dominguez and Walia. Just narrowly ahead up the road, and Scheimer has a moment somewhere out on track. Oh no, that's it for Scheimer on the last lap. Gosh darn it. James Blint gets to the line. There it is. Checkered flag, folks. James Blint in P1. Looks like Pridgeon's going to take P2. Oh no, Scheimer taking the DNF. GTD, it looks like Fazal took the check, and Walia takes second place. Dominguez in third. De Silva in fourth, from what I can count. Crane taking fifth. Santa Maria in sixth, and Pinell in 207. That's where the rest of the field is. We got Pridgeon in P2 now. Leader getting third for the category. Just getting to the line. Jay Bray finishing out the race, getting fourth place right behind Pinell, looks like. And who else do we have? Anybody else we still need to have finish up? Let's go through the categories really quickly. We have Blint, Pridgeon, Leader, Bray, Scheimer, Leonard, and Junior finishing it out for GTLM. And then for GTD, we've got Fazal, Walia, Dominguez, De Silva, Crane, Santa Maria, Pinell, and Bressler. In the TCR category, we have Zari, Fred Soderstedt, Emiliano Vidal, and Luke Baumeister. And excuse me, there's a Pasha Patterson in between here. I don't know why he doesn't show up on the TCR leaderboard, but I guarantee you he is there right between Fred Soderstedt and Emiliano Videla. What I do want to look at, or what I do want to do, is I want to talk to some of these race drivers and figure out what went wrong and what went right. Let's see if we can hop into the Discord and get some interviews done. Head back over.
I might not come back, guys.
Hey, everybody. You got time to do a couple interviews? I think I got John Crane right in front of me right now. John Crane, I want to talk briefly about that consistent battle you had with Pinell all race long.
Yeah, that was definitely contention there. There were points where I felt I was faster, and sometimes he was, but he was in front and had the better position, obviously. And traffic, come into play, but nothing terrible. Some of us take it better than others, and I think he did a good job.
Traffic giveth and traffic taketh, right, at the end of the day, but you were able to stay consistent. I think you went, who pit first? I think Pinell pit first, and you went for the overcut, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. It didn't work out that well, but that's okay. I still caught back up to him.
Well, either way, you came out 5 seconds behind him, and ironically, he had a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit. So the way it looked, mathematically, you came out ahead of him technically, right?
Yeah, I guess.
According to the clock, but yeah, no, you still had to do the work out on track.
Yeah. So it was a good race. I like this track, and I think everybody did a good job around me, at least.
Absolutely. I think everybody did a good job all together now. Thank you very much, John. I do want to talk to someone from the Blue Gang. I wonder if James Leader is hanging around. Is James Leader around?
Hello.
The lead man himself, a podium finisher. Lead man, what happened to you? Because I saw you pit at the 42.50 mark, but then you fell back to 9th place or so. What happened?
Yeah, so I discovered about 25-30 minutes into the race that my setup got very sketchy at the end of the stint, which I did not check before the race. So start of the race, car was feeling great, and then around 20 minutes in, I had a spin coming out of the final corner and lost a bit of time, but didn't hit anything, didn't pick up any damage. A few laps later, touched the curb, going through the fast right-hander at the end of the back straight, and it just spit me off into the wall. So picked up quite a bit of damage, limped it around back to the pits, and had to sit for a while to take repairs. But After that, got back out there. Car was feeling good again. Toward the end, was starting to get a bit dangerous, but I knew I knew to be ready for it. So no more spins. Luckily, just tried to work my way back forward. I was closing in on Jeffrey at the end there, and I wasn't sure if I'd have enough time to get by him, but it looked like he had a spin with a few minutes to go as well. So that was looking like it was going to be a pretty close battle, but ended up getting back up into third.
It really was going to be super exciting. The way you guys were navigating through traffic, it was all of you guys cutting your way through or chopping it up, and it was absolutely cool. But yeah, Jay Bray had an unfortunate accident somewhere and just lost it and then fell back down the order. But all in all, amazing drive, and you had to make all those overtakes happen through traffic, and they were for overall position, so nobody was actually getting out of your way, were they?
Yeah, there were a few passes for overall position. It was luckily a lot of them were GTD traffic, so as soon as I got to the back straight, it was pretty easy to get by. But yeah, there was a lot of fighting through traffic to get back up the field.
For sure. Thank you so much for joining us and being a representative of the Blue Gang. I do want to get it over to the Zero Bandwidth team if they're still hanging around. Is anybody from the Zero Bandwidth team hanging around? Pasha?
Oh, hello.
Hello, Mr. Patterson. How are you doing, brother?
Well, I somehow lucked into another podium finish. Like I said, I was just kind of hanging out, running my race, and see what would come to me. Unfortunately, the internet, her transmission gremlins, got to Luke. But yeah, all in all, I love this place.
Before we talk to that, before we get to that stuff, what happened on lap 1?
Lap 1?
Were you involved in the lap 1 incident at Moss with the GTLM that spun out there?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was caught up in that partly because the track was blocked, and partly because my PC picked that moment to freeze for like 3 seconds, and when it came back, I was millimeters away from smashing into Fred. So sorry, Fred. That was my fault. Fortunately, he was able to continue. I let him by when he caught up to me because I was like, yeah, that's my bad. But yeah, I was just sort of caught up in that. It was a terrible confluence of incident plus PC issues. But yeah, managed to come back from that and just kind of ran my race and kept it out of the wall.
You really did, because you were stuck behind Jan 10 after that, right? And I think for at least 2 or 3 laps, you were plugged away behind Jan Tan before Jan Tan went wide and you were able to get that overtake. But then everything else was work on work. And then you had to also race Emiliano Videla, right?
That battle was fantastic. I've missed running with Emiliano. We've been sort of crossing paths and not really getting into races together on SRS and elsewhere. So it's been great fun battling with Emiliano this season, and yeah, that was good. I managed to pip him in the pit cycle and somehow held on for the second stint. But he had the pace. He was getting bullied today. I think he was dealing with some damage in the first stint. But yeah, it was great fun, and somehow pulled out the P3.
Yeah, Videla had a lot of damage as well in the first stint, like you said. Was able to limp it home and get that position, into 4th place, but was able to fight with you for most of that first stint. I really do, and I don't mean to beat this dead horse. You also got bullied a lot, it looked like. It seemed like every time, or at least 4 laps in a row, I kind of caught you at Moss. You were off at once at Moss, and then you were off again at Moss, or someone else was trying to stick it up the inside of you. It just seemed like you had bad luck. How did you keep so calm, or how are you so calm right now after your race? Just looking back on it now, it seemed like you almost forgot about the lap 1 incident now.
Well, it was 90 minutes ago. You gotta put that behind you and just kind of forget. Otherwise, it could easily have just eaten me for the whole race. But part of it, like, I guess it helps that some of it was my fault. So it was like, okay, there's no reason to feel angry about this because it was me screwing up. But yeah, it was just bad timing. I think a lot of the faster GT cars were just catching me at really bad places. I don't think any of them did anything particularly egregious. It was just awkward. And by and large, it just kind of played out. But yeah, it was multi-class, it's just the way it goes.
That's the way it is. The slower classes just gotta get out of the way, or you'll get bullied out of the way just being slower. So I'll buy that one for $1.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me and entertaining my commentary booth special. Does anybody else have anything they want to add before we head out?
I got P2.
I know. We do want to
Blue
talk.
gang.
The Blue Gang, that's 2 people up on the podium for the gang.
Yeah.
And Pridgeon, what's up, buddy? I mean, you just plugged away again. I mean, didn't even qualify well, no offense.
I never qualify well. You can always count on me for not being able to put a super fast lap in, but I think, I don't know, I avoided a lot of incidents. It was unfortunate that James had his crash because he would have finished in second. But yeah, it was just kind of a boring race for me, honestly. Not a lot happened.
You did race Scheimer for quite some time, didn't you?
Yeah, we raced for quite a few laps in the first stint.
Yeah. And that was just good to see because I haven't seen Scheimer had to defend against anybody for a long time, but he was able to defend against quite a few people, and he was racing Jay Bray super, super hard. I believe that was the second stint, and I was so looking forward to that. It was such an exciting race and such a good job in GTLM, despite you having a quiet race, Adam. The way I saw you navigating traffic was very tactful and just goes to show how you got up there. So very clean, and congratulations to the Blue Gang for sure.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to step out and finish up the stream. Good luck, everybody. Well, with that, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you coming out, showing up, hanging out, talking gobsmack in my Discord, asking questions, making comments, helping the time go by. But first of all, I want to give a huge thanks to the organizer of this, Mike TTC. Thank you so much, and thank you to Pro Sim Racing for allowing me to do this broadcast. Gotta say thank you so much to Luke Baumeister for creating all of the graphics that you see in front of you, the calendar, the overlays, the championship standings. The sponsors guides were provided by GTP Emiliano Videla. Check out the livery station for all your livery needs. If you ever need a custom livery for a specific event, charity race, or anything of the sort. And I always want to go ahead and promote the co-hosted GT Panama and Plebian Racing Discord servers if you haven't checked them out, as well as Pro Sim Racing. So go ahead and find us, join us, come see what we're all about, and be part of some crazy racing action like this. In 2 weeks' time, on November 6th, round 3, we're going to be at Road America, and oh my goodness, if this was any indication of what the next race is going to be like, Road America is going to be insane. Talk about lack of passing opportunities. It's going to be disgusting. It's like, I can't even imagine it. I don't want to imagine it because I know it's just going to be maddening, and it's going to be more than I ever expected it to be. All of these races are stacking up as far as challenges go because we're headed to VIR on the 20th of November, and then on December 4th, we're heading to Road Atlanta. So the challenges and the skills are going to keep mounting up. Again, thank you so much to the drivers for putting on such an entertaining show, and thank you for allowing me and indulging my crazy want and need to broadcast this race. I've had so much fun doing this, I can't even explain it. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for hanging out. And as always, folks, please, please, please stay safe.